So another way in which the real world is in no way like a game of chess is the fact that a chessboard is level, right? And either side is an equally matched out scenario at the outset. You have two armies, both of equal size in chess, right? And two forces, both of equal size, on a level playing field, and there's no possibility of going beyond the frontier of that playing field. What it teaches you is the theory of strategy. It teaches you like a perfected, idealized form of strategy. It in no way represents the real world. It does not teach you, the real nuts and bolts of military tactics, how to protect your supply lines, how to use the terrain against your enemy, and so on. It teaches you none of that. And in real life examples of conflict, and I think people get into like a defeatist attitude when they see a larger force, in confronting them, or a force involving many people, say in like a political debate or in like an issue of ideology or something, or some sort of discussion in the public discourse that's going to affect policy. And a lot of people think, well, there's just too many people who believe this, so there's no point confronting it. However, the most important thing to do in any kind of confrontation is to always be able to protect yourself from, by using the strongest positions possible. Yeah. So that you must have, even if you're a smaller force, and we think of the example of the Spartans at Thermopylae, say, at the Hot Gates, right? Holding back with 300 Spartans this huge force of Persians, this overwhelming invading army from Persia. And it's like, well, how can they do that with 300 Spartans? They're using the terrain to their advantage, and they were using their superior training to their advantage also. And it's sort of like a legendary story, but there's more realistic examples of this as well in history, more recent history, say the Battle of Agincourt, where a small force holds back a larger one, or like a small force roundly defeats a larger force of soldiers, or soundly defeats, whatever you would like to say. It's you must, if you're in any kind of intellectual discussion with someone, or in any kind of rhetorical and political debate in the public sphere, say with any kind of activist community or anyone like this, if you can defend yourself publicly, or if you can assert your own moral superiority over a given opponent, that you can establish in rational terms and in evidence-based terms the fact that the outcome or course forward that you're proposing leads to morally greater or morally more valuable outcomes than the one that your opponent is proposing, you therefore may defend your position, or you may have a greater claim in moral terms to be able to defend your position. For instance, if an action benefits more people to do one thing than to do another thing, or if on the flip side of that, if fewer people are going to be hurt by an outcome, it's best to choose that outcome and not the other one, right, in moral terms, if we evaluate the human cost of decisions. And never treat a life like as a game of chess. It is not one. It is overwhelmingly more complicated. And if anything, it's more like a series of chess games.